Just because you can resist the devil doesn't mean you should hang out with him. It's much easier to avoid temptation than it is to resist it. This is a bit of a controversial one, I suppose. Drinking alcohol while trying to lose weight, get in shape. You will see a million different opinions on this online, and I'm sure there is a million and one studies to support all different reasons as to why you should and shouldn't drink. This is just my view as somebody who has lost over 50 pounds in the last 2 to 3 years. And I've been through saying I'm not going to drink, and then, okay, maybe I'll have a couple of drinks, to completely falling off and getting binned with mates throughout the summer while playing festivals with my band, and because you can probably tell by all the guitars behind me. And finally being in a place where I have nailed it. And I mean nailed it. Like, I feel like I'm in such a good space with it right now. So just to cross a few things off the list, right? Weight loss, burning fat is calories in versus calories out. And I think the way you feel and the way your body looks is reflected by how you fulfill that calorie consumption. Okay, so if you eat 1,000 calories of Twinkies, I mean, that guy did that, pizza, beer, whatever a day, you will lose weight. You will burn fat. There's no doubt about it. Will you feel good? Probably not great, no. So choosing how you do this is really the important part, okay? But you absolutely can enjoy yourself, have a couple of beers, and lose some weight along the way. I am proof of that, okay? So I'll caveat this by saying, for the first 12 weeks of my weight loss journey, I started at about 210 pounds. I did go on a completely dedicated 12 weeks. I had a coach. I ripped into it, and I made as much progress as I could. I was regimented, chicken, broccoli, sweet potato, you know, just hitting it hard every day, no drink. And that was amazing. You know, I got from about 95 kilos to 80 kilos, which is about 210 pounds down to about 180 pounds. And it was phenomenal. I needed a reset. I needed to get my head in the right place. But from there on out, I could easily balance a way to enjoy myself and have a couple of drinks. And actually, I still to this day, most weeks will live by something I learned off Greg O'Gallagher, a guy who has a channel called Kino Body, big inspiration of mine. And he has a 2x2 rule, 2 drinks twice a week. Now, don't get me wrong. If we got a big gig, big festival, if I'm not driving, if it's a friend's birthday or something's going off, like, I will build it in to my plan. I will enjoy myself and find a way to make up for that over the next couple of days, right? But I'm talking generally, I will do 2 drinks twice a week. And that's amazing, right? On a Friday, I can have dinner with Megan and enjoy it with a couple of glasses of wine. And then maybe one time in the week or on a Saturday or something, I want to go meet up with a couple of mates, have a couple of beers. Or it's sunny and we're having a barbecue and I'll have a couple of beers. And with all the low and no alcohol options out there now, I just find it really easy to, like, have a beer, have a 0 beer, have another beer, have a 0 beer. And all of a sudden it's like you've had 4 drinks, you've been cooking on the barbecue for like 3 hours, you've had a great time, and, you know, you feel like you've had plenty, you know, you feel like you've been drinking the whole time. There's no social distraction, if that makes sense. So I heard an amazing quote the other day, which has fueled me doing this video, and I'm going to read it out to you guys. So, just because you can resist the devil doesn't mean you should hang out with him. It's much easier to avoid temptation than it is to resist it. And I think this goes for alcohol, and I think it goes for everything in dieting, right? Whether that be a pack of cookies on the side, it's so hard to resist one, right? But it's very easy if the temptation is not there. You're just not going to have it. It's out of sight, out of mind. Same thing goes for alcohol, right? So I think generally, if you have a bit of a structure in place and you don't have it knocking around all the time, it's not too hard to stick to, you know? Now, I'll assume if you're watching this video, you're probably someone maybe a little bit similar to me. So, bit entrepreneurial, probably not somebody who would necessarily get on with having like a regular boss. You want to do your own thing, make your own rules. And I've realized throughout life that I hate being controlled. I hate having other people or institutions being able to control me. I discovered this pretty early on and have run my own businesses since I was 16 years old. A couple of obvious ones that spring to mind is when we first wanted to actually move to this house. We were really struggling to get a mortgage. My business had blown up. I had loads of savings. We were doing pretty well financially. But because I had left a business that was doing well and I had started a new business that was doing way better, I didn't have enough, enough years of accounts of those businesses to basically qualify for a mortgage, even though we had money. And I found that so frustrating. I hated that these institutions had control over the moves I wanted to make in my life. And at that point, I took control and realized I need to have so much money that I have just total control over all of this. And the reason this relates back to the alcohol thing and the weight loss thing is when I put restrictions in place, I realized that all I want to do is break them. I hate having these hard lines. So if I say, I am not going to drink, literally I'll get to a Saturday and I'll be like, I just really want to drink. I just really want to drink. Why have I said I'm not going to drink? When if I had just said to myself all along, you're just going to have a couple of drinks, man. Just keep it chill. Enjoy it. You don't have to go overboard. Now I've sort of realized that it's made my life so much easier. The hardest thing and the worst thing I ever did was drew hard lines. I don't do this. Life is for living. Life is for enjoying. If it's something that you can enjoy in moderation, then you absolutely should. Now, if you're not someone who can enjoy it in moderation, and I definitely didn't used to be, this is something that's sort of transformed over the years and taken a lot of work. I genuinely, if you had spoke to me a couple of years ago, would have said, no, I cannot enjoy it in moderation. I either have to have it or I'm with the boys at a gig, getting on it hard. But it's taken work. It's taken some personal development, but I've got to a place now where I just really enjoy a couple of drinks. And the thought of being able to enjoy the social aspect, being able to enjoy the drinks I love, have a couple of cocktails, but still be fresh the next day and not throw myself off track for my other goals in life. That to me sounds like the dream outcome. So I'm going to leave you with the quote again because it's really hit me hard. It resonated with my situation right now. Coming back from holiday a couple of weeks ago, I've been pretty lax with just about everything in life. I've been going to bed a bit later. I've been eating a little bit too much. I've still been training crazy hard though, which is nice because I think the extra calories have kind of been fueling that. But with the idea of I'm going to get locked back in, let's get back on track, summer's around the corner. This one really meant a lot to me. So yeah, just because you can resist the devil doesn't mean you should hang out with him. It is much easier to avoid temptation than it is to resist it. So drop me a comment below, let me know what that quote means to you, and I'll see you in the next one.